Well, Israel's biggest ally in this conflict, of course, has been the United States, which means that the White House has had a lot to say about how things have unfolded in the last year, you would think. To dive into that, foreign policy expert Ari Aramesh is here, but we're noticing that the Prime Minister is not necessarily listening to the President of the United States either, is he? Good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning. It's great to be with you on this Saturday. Israel is America's most important ally in the Middle East, and America is Israel's most important ally and supporter in the world. But that doesn't mean Israel listens to the U.S.
Right.
Every step of the way. Israel is an independent country. It has its own government. It has an elected government and a cabinet and a Knesset, so they make their own decisions. Now, friends can tell friends to stay away from some dangers and harm and jeopardy. Friends can advise friends on how to avoid some obstacles, and friends can advise friends that I'll have your back, but you better stay away from some big sort of traps that might be set for you. On the other hand, the Israeli government is adamant in response to the Iranian attacks. One happened in April. The Israelis responded, but it was very limited. That was under pressure from President Biden and his administration. And their response was symbolic. They launched an attack, a limited attack against a anti-air defense site in the city of Isfahan, sort of trying to show the Iranians, hey, you're using this stuff to protect your nuclear sites. We're going to hit that exact advanced anti-aircraft site. We know what you got. We know how to take it out, but we're going to stop short. Now, this time around, Israel is bent to attack, and it's going to be a much larger attack because Iran used ballistic missiles. Some of these missiles actually hit Israel. And the question is when, where, how far, and how long? And we have to see.
Yeah, there's so much tit for tat going on. It seems, every weekend I come in to do these shows and it's happening again from one side or the other or both. What do you make of the United States relationship? Again, let's talk a little bit more about this with Israel, because when some of these large scale attacks are happening, the U.S. isn't even finding out until there's already rockets in the air. What do you make of them not getting the heads up?
Well, it's no secret that Netanyahu's relationship with President Biden has not always been the best. Now, again, President Biden has been very supportive of Israel. Last year, this time, after October 7th, he flew to Israel. So did Secretary of Defense Austin, Secretary of State Blinken. He went to Israel, sat in the Israeli cabinet, sat in the war cabinet. He has provided Israel with money, support, munition, intelligence, so on and so forth. On the other hand, a couple of big operations have come to surprise the White House. One was the launch to kill Sayyid Hassan Nasrallah, the leader of Lebanese Hezbollah. The other one was the massive attack that took out a number of Hezbollah leaders, and also the pager attacks. That 1,600 pagers just went off. So the question is, part of it is perhaps they don't want to be pressured by the White House into backing out and backing off. On the other hand, it does create certain level of not distrust, but let's say cold-heartedness. Now, again, Trump and Netanyahu had a different relationship. Trump would just, write and sign a blank check, and Netanyahu would cash it every time. It's a little different with Biden. It's a little different with Obama. I would say, again, regardless of who's in charge, the United States of America will stand by Israel. That goes without saying. But how they will do that and how much, how warm the relationship is between the two leaders, the prime minister and the president, really depends on who's at the White House.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.